some
Hey, I'm Larissa. Welcome to Goblins of Discord. This series on personality traps of the Enneagram types is an excerpt from a course I made over a year ago, and I've gotten a lot deeper on this subject. So I will be creating more content moving forward for the YouTube, but also the membership that I just launched, which you can join. And I'll be doing live calls and things of that nature. So there'll be a pathway for people to ask questions about this and how to work with this. And also, if you are like, damn, I'm living my self-fulfilling Enneagram hell prophecy, Larissa, what do I do? I need help right now. Well, you can also book calls with me to do coaching. And you can also get typed if you're like, I don't know, I'm just in hell. I don't know what hell, but I am in hell. You can book a typing call with me. And again, the membership is like the low tier, low financial investment way to also work with me, and you get discount on services. So I hope that you'll check out my brand new shiny little membership. And don't know why I'm doing all these voices, and hope that you enjoy this series and get something from it, or dig deeper into the whole depression since learning your type. Okay.
Hello, darling. All right, so now we're covering type 1, Enneagram 1, which is known as the perfectionist or the judge, the critic, the anal retentive priest, the godly being, the holy roller. Yeah, you get the picture. They're perfect. You're not, darling. Okay, so type 1's fear of being imperfect, defective, evil, bad, tainted by badness, and that can look however that looks. So that doesn't mean by your standards bad, it's by their standards bad. Impure, imperfect, whatever that thing is, it's by their standards. So it can look different for each one, but there will be a specific flavor. They like integrity, and they like to be right. They like to be good. Perfect. So they fear corruption. It's what keeps them constantly focused on what's wrong with themselves, others, and the outside world. This prevents the one from ever feeling good, perfect, or satisfied with themselves, others, or their environment. Because there will always be something to nitpick, a scab to pick, a cuticle to push, a dripping faucet, a defect to improve upon, a standard to raise, another person to correct, endless piles of cat hair to vacuum. This fixation sets them up for a constant loop of disappointment and frustration. They can become self-righteous, moralistic when unhealthy. And this is often exacerbated by their fixes and instincts. So often people think that type 6s are 1s, but they're usually just 6s with one fix, because 6 actually makes the 1 louder as a fix. 1 is like a core, is a little bit more reined in and demure. It's energetically a little bit more rigid and not as splashy or reactive as a 6 is about the perfection stuff. 6s get a little bit louder, so that's one interesting distinction, I suppose. 1s have high standards for themselves, their creations, their environment, their relationships, humanity as a whole. And to just reiterate a bit, to stave off fears of being imperfect, they employ their vice of anger. Their anger is not splashy, tits out, frothing at the mouth, or screaming in a hairnet. Their anger and their rage is narrow, rigid, hypercritical, and judgmental. As frustration types, there will always be something imperfect, bad, or wrong with themselves and others. So as this pattern churns and churns, their spiritual sphincter gets tighter and tighter, an ever-constricting super-ego kegel capable of shattering its own spiritual yoni egg center. A black hole sucking you in to be whittled down to nothing but bone. And oh, how the self-abasement keeps them busy tweaking, tinkering, perfecting, and chipping away. Are you getting the picture? Have I beaten the horse to death? When unhealthy ones And we can all be unhealthy. That's not like a judgment, by the way. When unhealthy ones can become self righteous, or they become self righteous rather. Oh, I just made a mistake. If you're a one, you notice that. Moralistic, overly controlled, obsessive compulsive, excessively disciplined. The fixation keeps them busy, again, tweaking, tinkering, perfecting, straightening, and chipping away. Perfection is impossible, and daddy will never entirely bequeath you with his approval. These fixations can bleed out into their relational dynamics, their work environment, or other places where people around them might flinch at their constant criticism and judgment. Of course, they don't think that that's what they're doing. They think they're just trying to make everything better. They're trying to make it better for everybody, right? They just want it to be right, want it to be perfect. They don't know that they're driving everybody crazy. Type 1s can twist free of their personality handcuffs by learning to accept and embrace their perceived flaws and their grievances with the outer world. So these flaws are perceived, they're not real. This comes from the ego. It's whatever you've decided. If you're a 1 or you have a 1 fixed is a flaw, it's probably not actually a flaw. So lean into that, accept it. Okay, I have flaws, and I actually accept that I have flaws. And you know what? I'm going to decide that I like that I have flaws, and I'm going to start looking for the benefits of those flaws. So if you're not good at, tidying your apartment, you're a 1, and it's like, well, I can never get it clean. Being stereotypical, of course, but it's like, you know what? Well, maybe your dirt's is sexy. Maybe you got some sexy dirt. Maybe it's the dirt that really brings it all together. Releasing the need to tame and improve the chaotic, grotesque, depraved, and disenchanting nature of this reality will open up a lot of possibilities for the 1. They can begin to bring awareness to when they are silently judging others or being critical of others, and how they're not allowing themselves the space to exist in a similarly imperfect manner. So usually whatever we're telling other people, like we're criticizing other people, is a voice that we're criticizing ourselves with. So when you are saying something rude to somebody else, that's a standard you're also inflicting on yourself. Ones can access their line to 7 and become a chaos demon. Try it on for size. Enjoy the looseness, joy, and freedom that comes from unabashed selfishness. Release the kegel, release the kegel. Selfishness is just a construct created by the superego, by the way. It's just a construct, it's not real. They can access their line to 4 and experience unfettered narcissism and self-indulgence without admonishing themselves later. Why not just do what you want? You can literally just allow yourself to do what you want. I know it's easier said than done, which is why there will be a little exercise after this, but treat yourself, honey, and don't feel bad about it. What would happen if the 1s simply allowed themselves to be bad or imperfect? Would the world suddenly collapse, or would it just keep spinning? Ego blow. Ego blow. I know. It would keep spinning. It would keep spinning without you. Could the 1 have a little fun, dabble in some wanton extravagance, debauchery, degeneracy without judging? Unbind their gut rigidity and loosen their energetic sphincter. Perhaps something needs to be unleashed that is clogging up their inner works and creating a toxic environment inside. Maybe all of those Kegels have made it impossible to enjoy metaphorical sex, and it's time to lay back and receive the phallus of bedlam, disorder, and gaiety. Have I sold you on it yet, 1? When 1s learn to release control and surrender to existence without constantly scanning for imperfections on their quest for deity status, they'll realize it's safe and freeing to exist in a state of being perfect, imperfectly, gloriously human. And in this unsophisticated Neanderthal state is where they will find genuine perfection and self-actualization. Be a sewer rat, 1. Be a messy, disgusting sewer rat.